Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. I wanted to take this opportunity to speak to someone who may need to hear this. And I'm going to go ahead and start this off with, I understand. Not only do I understand that as a business owner, it can be tough. I understand when it feels like things aren't going your way. I understand that it feels like you're doing all that you can, and it just seems like every time you take 4 steps forward, you take 15 steps backwards. I understand when you say that, I just simply don't have the money right now. Like, it is hard to make ends meet. I understand when you feel like, all of the people that you love and you do for and you care for, it doesn't seem like they're giving you the support that you need. I understand how that feels. And unfortunately, while those feelings may be valid to you, the truth is simply, maybe you need to make a change. And what do I mean by that? Oftentimes, we aren't blessed, we aren't fortunate, whatever words you want to use, we're not given the opportunity to get more money because we don't do a good job with the money that we do have. Sometimes it's not that the opportunity is passing you by. The opportunity is simply saying you're not ready. Because if you take the same mindset that you have today and you multiply your life with money, all you did was took what you currently do wrong now and magnified it. You take that exact same mindset into the next level. You just actually have more room to mess up other things. What do I mean by that? I mean that the moment that you come into money, most people who have never had money, the first thing that you say is, I'm going to go pay off all my debt. That is a very clear indication that you don't know what to do with money. Because the moment that you get $10,000, $20,000, and you go pay off $10,000 or $20,000 in debt, you're debt free, but you're broke. What does that do for you? Wealthy people have understood that making sound investments, and I'm not talking about going buy real estate. See, that's what people confuse. They think that people are just going to buy real estate or opening other businesses. No, they're investing their time into learning. They're investing their finances into building the business the right way, right? That's what they're investing in. So that way, if I build it the right way, then it's going to give me a return on my investment over the long term, right? When it comes to us feeling like we're not being supported by our family or our friends, is it because our family and our friends have seen that side of us that has been inconsistent? Our family and friends have seen us, we talk one way to certain people, we talk to others another way. Our family and friends have known that we have been involved in gossip and mess, and we just don't live right. So our family and friends are saying, why would I support something that you don't believe in? Why would I support something that isn't consistent? How about the ones that are in a relationship and you feel that your significant other is literally not on board? Is it because they know who you really are? They know that all you're doing is looking for the quick fix and the quick win? So why would they put all of their support behind something that they see that is being treated as treated with inconsistency? Hell, you're inconsistent with the relationship that you have with your significant other, but yet you're going to be consistent with a business? So I understand. And for me, until I decided to just change the way that I think, change the way that I approach life, that's what I realized here's what's going to happen. And most of us are afraid to do this. Most of us are afraid to lose what we call friends. But if those people were really your friend, they would support your growth. Most of us are afraid that we're going to lose something. But sometimes it takes us to lose those things that are not helping us build the things that we need to. Sometimes you have to really look in the mirror and say, what is it that I am doing wrong? And chances are It's because you're not even taking the sound advice that you would get from someone who's been where you're trying to go. I tell people this all the time. Stop taking advice from people who have never done the things that you are trying to accomplish. Stop taking advice from people who have never been in a position to where they understand, they can relate, they empathize, and they sympathize. Stop being in position. Stop talking to people who are not going to hold you accountable. And I know sometimes when we do speak to people and they're not saying the things that we want them to say, we get upset, we get frustrated. But I want to challenge you as a business owner. If you look in the mirror right now today and say, I know I'm not where I need to be, I challenge you, what are you going to do differently? You can't possibly think that money is going to change your life when money is only going to make your current mindset accessible to more things. And I don't think that's going to help you, right? But let me go ahead and share this other perspective with you, right? So I understand as a business owner, and this might be a little bit too much for some people, but understand the context. By no means do I think I am above anyone or anything. I don't believe I'm more than I'm not. I just understand that this comes from a sincere place. For people of color, I understand what Malcolm and Martin and Harriet, I understand what some of those people that we look to as leaders, I understand from my knowledge of them, I understand what they were going through. What I mean by that is, when you're trying to help people so bad that you can scream it, you can be passionate about it, you can march about it, you can create a campaign about it. You're trying to help people so bad and people still don't listen. Most people pay attention to the messenger, and I understand it. But just because the messenger may not be what you want him or her to be, that doesn't change the message. Just because you hate the Internal Revenue Service, that doesn't mean that the tax code isn't written to benefit businesses if you're structured right. We oftentimes look at what we see versus what is being told to us. I may not be everybody's cup of tea. In fact, I've even been told that sometimes the things that I say come off as a scam. Now, it's easy for me to get offended by that, but for what? Why would I allow anybody to make me feel a way when I know what it is that I do? I have had a lot of failure in my life, but I've also had some great wins as well. And when I compare the two, every time that I lost because I did not either take the advice that was given to me. I wanted to do it my own way. I didn't do the research, but more importantly, I didn't even have a plan. And when I remember back in the day, I applied for a loan. It was about a $1.1 million loan that I never got. Now, I was approved for the loan, but the SBA at the time said, we need to get your transcripts. And I filed my taxes. I did everything the right way, but I didn't do it completely the right way. And when it all boiled down to it, because I was structured as an LLC at the time, and I've never had that money, that type of money at that time in my life to get approved for $1.1 million. That was the first time I've ever seen that, right? And I just knew. But when I started to go back and think about all the things that I did at that time when I saw that approval, I started to plan for all the things that I want to do with that money. And when I started to dig deep to figure out what I was planning for, it dawned on me. Damn, Dewayne, you weren't even ready for that money because you want to do all the wrong things. You was thinking about paying off all your bills and, gone on vacation and just all of those crazy things. All of those things that were designed for me to lose that money just like that versus all the things that would have been greater for me in the long run. I was looking for that instant gratification. And yes, I cried when I didn't get the money because I felt like because I was a black man, because I was this. I came up with all of those narratives until I got the Internal Revenue Service on the phone, until I spoke to one of the head directors at the SBA, and they told me, well, sir, The way that you're structured is the problem. Sure enough, sure did. See, because the Internal Revenue Service, they couldn't post my tax return to the system because my EIN number was registered as a LLC. But I filed my taxes as a corporation. You know how we fill out that 8832 entity classification form? Well, when I sent that form in, the IRS just hadn't processed it. And because the IRS didn't process it, the SBA couldn't get my transcripts. And lo and behold, that $1.1 million that I could have had, I didn't. And I was sad. I was hurt. But it forced me to go back and unlearn everything that I've learned before. It forced me to go back and just take away everything that I thought I knew about money and start over. And the moment that I did that is where financial freedom started to become more clear. It was at that moment when I restructured my business to become a corporation. Now, all of the things that they were saying that they were looking for Dewayne never even mattered. And then, lo and behold, my wife and I, we were able to open a wedding venue that cost us well over, nearly $2 million. We have done a lot of great things. I've been able to get a lot of money, right? But I wasn't prepared back then. I was still partying and vacation. I was doing all those things. But when I started to reshift my thinking and stop blaming others and started to look in the mirror and take accountability, that's when I went revisit my business plan. That's when I went revisit my business model. That's when I went revisit everything. And it sounds crazy, but it all started at the beginning. I went change the things from the beginning. I went do some soul searching. I started to remove the things around me that wasn't contributing to my success. I stopped entertaining conversations that wasn't leading me down the direction that I wanted to go. Yeah, you can sit on the phone and gossip all day, but that ain't gonna do nothing for you. I started to realize that, Dewayne, you're not getting any younger. I'm not getting younger. In fact, hell, I got more gray hair now than anything else, and I realize I see death every day. Somebody's always dying. That is a clear indication that life ain't waiting for you to catch up. You either make a decision or you don't. And when I tell people I've put all of that stuff, I've given you fundamental tools to change your life in a class, in a course. Well, how much is the course? Well, why do I got to do this? That's too much. You're not convicted. And I can't make you feel convicted about something. I can't. Well, everybody and their mama selling this and selling that. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to help change your life. And I'm just saying it's going to take an investment from you. A financial investment? Yes, it will. A time investment? Yes, it will. But I understand what some of those leaders back then were going through, because they were just trying to get you to invest your time. Think differently. Be different. Right? But if you still want to be the same person that you are, chances are you're going to get the same results. I don't know who this message is for this morning. It just was on my heart to share it. I can help you if you want the help. But I can't force nobody, and I won't force nobody. It's up to you to make a difference in your own life. Stop waiting for life to happen and make it happen. Happy Friday.